There are a few Touhou characters that we have some idea as to how old they are, like how we know that Remilia and Flandre's ages are 500 years old and 495 years old respectively, but that's actually wrong. Well, sort of. It seems that most people are under the impression that Remilia is exactly 500 years old, but the thing is, Remilia is only once stated to be 500 years old, which is in the Omake text for USD, and thanks to Asprey for making it known that the Omake texts are a thing that exists. Anyways, besides USD's Omake text, Remilia is consistently said to be over 500 years old. In fact, in one of Reimu's endings for USD, Remilia says that she has lived for more than 500 years. In the Omake text for Imperishable Night and Immaterial Missing Power, it says that Remilia is over 500 years old. Now I know that there isn't much of a difference between exactly 500 years and over 500 years, but I did want to make this more known. So now on to Flandre. Most people seem to think that Flandre is 495 years old, but of course that's not exactly accurate. The Omake text for USD says that Flandre has been Remilia's sister for about 495 years, so we do know that Flandre is younger than Remilia, but we don't know exactly how much younger, other than that maybe about 5 years. In the extra stage, in Reimu's scenario, Flandre says she has not gone out in the past 495 years, and in Marissa's scenario, Flandre says she has been asleep in the basement for about 495 years. Now that seems a bit weird since this implies that Flandre has been asleep in the basement for pretty much her entire life. Now while we have gone over Remilia's and Flandre's true ages, you may be wondering, or at least I have, how do Remilia and Flandre age? Like, do they age like humans but stop growing after they are like 8? Or do they just grow very slowly so that 500 human years are the equivalent to about 8 vampire years? Imperishable Night's Omake text actually does explain to us how vampire aging, or at least how Remilia's aging, works. It says, creatures of her kind forfeit their growth and maturity in exchange for eternal life. In other words, she can live forever because she never grows up. So going off of this, it was seen that when Remilia became around 6 or 8, she stopped growing, and while the Omake text doesn't really tell us if this is an optional thing vampires do or if it's just the way they work, I like to think that they can just stop their growth whenever they feel like it. So a vampire can become an adult if they choose. If they never halt their growth, they can die of old age like a human. Now I'm going to try to piece together Remilia's and Flandre's past. Over 500 years ago, Remilia Scarlet was born, and roughly 5 years later, Flandre Scarlet was born. When Remilia and Flandre reached about the age of 7 respectively, they stopped growing, and that may be around the time when Flandre locked herself up in the basement of the SDM. Fast forward to some time before the events of the embodiment of Scarlet Devil take place, and the SDM gets transported to Gensokyo. And then, in 2002, the events of the embodiment of Scarlet Devil take place, and Flandre finally comes out of the basement. So there you have it, the truth about Remilia's and Flandre's ages, as well as how vampire aging works. Now this probably isn't going to change much of how we portray these characters, but I thought this was some interesting stuff and I wanted to share it. Also, I really wanted to get something out for USD Day. Anyways, thank you for watching, goodbye.